Module 1a-2 Grammar. Today we are learning the difference between present simple and present progressive. Let me give you an example of each tense. An example. Look at this example. I learn English every day. This is present simple. Now we want to make another example using the same verb, the same subject pronoun, the same object, but instead of using present simple, we will use present progressive. I am learning English now. If you notice, we have made some changes. We have made 3 changes. One, in here we have am, in here we don't. In here we have ing, learning. In here we don't have ing, it's just the verb learn. In here we have time expression, which is now, and in here we have every day. Now let's talk a little bit about the use. The use. When do we need to use present simple like this one, and when do we need to use present progressive like this one? Look, if you were talking about something that happens in general, then you have to use present simple. Like this, you learn English every day. This is generally or regularly happens. Something like it happens every day, every month. Or let's say that you read when you have free time. So this happens in general. You say, I read when I have free time. However, if you are holding a book right now, at this very moment, you say, I am reading a book now. Please do not disturb me. So we use this if something is happening right now or in the near future. Let's say that you go to your grandmother to visit her at the weekends. Every weekend, every Friday, you go to your grandmother. So you say, I visit my grandmother at the weekends. Present simple, because it happens in general. If you are going to visit her right now, you are moving, you can say, I am visiting my grandmother now, or I am going to visit my grandmother. If it will happen in the near future, let's say tomorrow you are visiting your grandmother, so you can say, I am visiting my grandmother tomorrow. Okay? There are time expressions that we can use with present simple and present progressive. We call them signal words. Like in here we used every day. Every day is not the only signal word we use with present simple. We have many. Like we have every, like every day, every month, every year. We have often, normally, always. Like I normally visit my grandmother at the weekends. You can say, I always visit my grandmother at the weekends. I often visit my grandmother at the weekends. I usually, I sometimes, I rarely visit my grandmother at the weekends. In here, we have at the moment. I am learning English at the moment. I am reading a book at the moment. That means right now. I am reading a book today. The same thing. Right now, the same. Right now, now, and at the moment give the same meaning. Let's move on to form. Form means how you build your sentence. What do you need to make the sentence? When we talk about form, let's talk about first the positive form, and then the negative form, and then the question form. These two first examples at the top are examples for positive forms. I learn English every day. You say the same thing if the subject pronoun is you, we, or they. You say I learn English every day, you learn English every day, we learn English every day, and they learn English every day. If you were using he, she, or it, you have to add s to the verb. Is this the plural s? No. Like when you say one chair, two chairs, is this the same thing? No. Because plural s is only added to nouns, names like chairs, tables. Learn is a verb, it's not a noun. So if you are using present simple, the subject is he, she, or it, then you must add this is to the verb if it's in the positive form. Okay? If it's positive, 1, 2, present simple, 3, you are using he, she, or it, then you must add this is. Present progressive, you have to add the verb be. If you are using I, then you say I am. If you are using he, she, or it, then you use is. He is, she is, it is. If you are using you, we, or they, you use are. You are, we are, they are learning English now. ing to the verb. Let's move on to negative. That means it's not happening or it doesn't happen. You have to use does or don't if it's present simple. Don't with I, you, we, they. I don't learn English every day. You don't learn English every day. They don't learn English every day. If it's he, she, or it, then you have to use doesn't. He doesn't learn English. She doesn't. It doesn't learn English every day. If you want to make this negative, I am learning, you make it I am not learning. You just copy the same thing from up there and just add not. Is not, are not. Now to reduce this, if you don't like it this long, you can say isn't, aren't. He isn't learning, he is not learning, the same thing. Let's move on to question. The same thing. Instead of starting with the subject pronoun I, you, we, they, you will start using don't. Put it at the beginning. Pick it up from right here and put it at the start. Do I learn English every day? If somebody loses his mind and he doesn't know if he learns English every day or not, so he asks, do I learn English every day? Doesn't he learn English every day? And how do we answer this? We can answer this using yes I do, no I don't, yes he does, no she doesn't. In here, the same thing. You pick up the verb be and put it at the beginning. Am I learning English now? Is he learning English now? Are you or are we learning English now? And how do you answer that? Yes, I am. No, I am not. Yes, he is. No, he isn't. Yes, you are. No, you are not. Now, I want you to notice something very important that is in the negative form and in the question form. We don't add s to the verb learn if the subject is he, she, or it. Only in the positive. This is very important. If it's positive, we have s added to the verb. If it's negative or question, no S. No S. Why? Because we are using doesn't. Doesn't. When you use does or doesn't, you don't add S to the verb. This is important. Okay. Let's move on to the grammar exercise. On page 7. Complete with present simple or present progressive of the verbs in brackets. Gavin, this is a guy's name, Gavin, rarely means not very often. Like the opposite of usually. Use his computer to surf the net. This is the end of the sentence. How will you put use? Will you put it as use, uses, is using, are using? First of all, we have to decide if we should use present simple here or present progressive. It will help a lot if we can find a signal word or a time expression that can tell us if we should use present simple or present progressive. Do you see rarely here? Rarely. Rarely is similar to sometimes, usually, always. This is our signal word. So we have to use present simple, and we have Gavin. Gavin is the same as he, so we have to put S to the verb use. So uses. Gavin rarely uses. First of all, this is present simple. Why? Because we have rarely. And if you remember, this sentence is positive. It's not negative. It's not a question. So we have to add an S at the end of the verb. Why? Because we have Gavin. Some might think, okay, we don't have he, she, and it. Yes, we do. We have Gavin. When you say Gavin rarely uses, is the same when you say he rarely uses his computer to surf the net. Now, another sentence starts here. He usually, again, we have he, we have usually, present simple, plays computer games. He play a basketball game at the moment. Look, we have at the moment means now. Now we can't use present simple. We have to use present progressive. We add the verb be, is, he is, and we add ing to the verb. He is playing a basketball game at the moment. Another sentence begins here. He loved basketball. Okay, this something happens in general. This is not happening now. This is not happening in the near future. This happens in general, so he loves basketball. 2. Excuse me, Mr. Salman, can you help me with this maths question? I understand it. Now we have not. Now we are dealing with negative for the first time. All these above were positive sentences. Now we have negative. Okay, when you don't understand something, you don't understand it generally. So this is present simple. I don't understand it. B. This is the teacher answering this student. He is telling him, in a minute, Amir, now, I am helping. Because now, we have now. I am helping Amir now. 3. Hasna and I. We have two people, Hasna and I. This is not she. This is we. Why? Because we have I. Who is doing the shopping? Not only Hasna is doing the shopping. No, I am doing it with her. So we are going shopping tomorrow, near future. What time that shoe shop on Ulayya Street open? We're talking about something that happens in general, like every day, right? What time does it open? So what time This is a question mark. So we have to use does. What time does that shoe shop on Al-Ulayya Street open or opens? Open, no S. Whenever you use does, you don't add S to the verb, okay? At 9 o'clock and it at 5:30, positive sentence, present simple because this happens every day. So, and it closes at 5:30.